Hey, how's it going? Today I'm talking about why you can't diagnose running pain from a Facebook post.
This is Running to the Castle, a podcast for injury-prone Run Disney runners on a journey to running magical miles. Join me, Dr. Allie, as I share the secrets I've gathered as a runner, doctor of physical therapy, and coach. You'll learn the exact ways I get my clients to the castle strong without feeling broken or held together with KT tape as they cross the finish line.
Today I want to unpack something I saw in a Facebook group that really stuck with me and kind of annoyed me. Someone asked, I just ran my first 10K and now my groin hurts. Any advice? So I'm going to talk about that. But as I'm saying these words, as they're coming out of my mouth, I need to give a little recap. So normally I get these podcast episodes out, on time, and I'm doing that on time. But I normally record them a couple of days, maybe even a week or two before they actually come out. Today, I am recording this on Monday, June 16th at 6:23 p.m. And this episode will go live at midnight tonight. Life got lifey. So I don't even remember when the last time I talked about my training was. I am guessing like Sunday, June 1st, I think I talked about it. So that next week was pretty good for training. I'm pretty sure I hit all of my training workouts. Yeah, so I got my workouts in. I did my 30 20 10 on June 4th. I did my progression run on June 5th. Typically, I don't like them back to back, but for some reason, I had to do them back to back. I don't remember now why, because life, the mind is fleeting, the memory goes. A lot of times I think of something in the moment and then it flutters right on out. But I got those workouts in, and then shit hit the fan Friday night. My father in law went back into the hospital. Was that Friday the 6th? Yes. Friday night, the 6th, I got a phone call at 11 p.m. saying that they were calling an ambulance, asked if I could come pick up their dog, which is what I do. They live 15, 20 minutes away, so no problem. Woke up, went to go get the dog, helped, my mother-in-law. And my father-in-law had a temperature of 105.7 when my mother-in-law took it. Ambulance, when the EMTs took it, it was 104.8, I believe, at that point. So went to the hospital, and it was a very scary weekend. And so I didn't get much running in. Saturday would have been cross training day, but we were hanging out with them at the hospital. My husband went all day. I went for part of the day. I was hanging out with the dogs most of the day. And then Sunday, I went to the hospital as well. And so Sunday night, Sunday, June 8th, I was like, well, I need to at least do my long run, because that's what I recommend. If life gets lifey, if you can only do one workout a week, make it your long run and try your hardest to keep it the same day or roughly the same day as when it normally happens. So my long run, I bounce between Sunday and Monday just based on how life happens. And so it was Sunday, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this, but I really should. So I did. So I asked Royal, hey, can you handle the dogs? I'm going to go for a run. It will be 90 minutes total between warm up, cool down, stretching, and shower. Or maybe a little bit longer than 90 minutes with the shower tacked in there. Anyway, so I go upstairs because we have a treadmill and it's already 110 degrees in Vegas. So treadmill it is. And I go to get everything set up. I put my water down. I put some snacks on the treadmill because it's a long run. So I'm going to eat some snacks. And I come out of the room, and there's our little Shih Tzu Ella, my in-laws dog. And I'm like, oh, well, you're up here. So I grabbed her. I was like, are you staying up here with me? And so I called down to Royal, hey, I have Ella. And I went to go get changed. I come out of the bedroom, and there's Levi. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess it's a party up here. So I'm just going to lock all of us in the gym, the bedroom that the treadmill's in. And I was like, okay, well, Royal, I have both of them. I'm just going to hang on to both of them. So locked us all in. And my God, for the 75 minutes I was on the treadmill, maybe 15 minutes inter intertwined with like sporadically throughout those 75 minutes, the dogs took a nap. Other than that, they were jumping all over each other. Now, Ella is like a year and a half old Shih Tzu. So she's like 8 pounds. Levi is an 11 and a half year old Wheaton Terrier. He is 42 pounds. And she just tries to jump on him. She's not quite tall enough to get on his back because he's pretty tall. But she'll just like stand on her hind legs, put her paws on his back, and they just do like whatever it is dogs do. And they're rolling all over the place, and she's running in between his legs and the entire time. So I got my run in. It felt really good. Nice long run, nice and slow. I am doing my own version of run walk. Basically, I walk when I want. So typically what it is I'll run for about 3/4 of a mile, walk a quarter mile. Sometimes that will be run a mile, walk half a mile. It's whatever pleases me that day, whatever I want. So that day, ran 3/4 of a mile, walked about half a mile. But I did screw up with my timing of it, where my walking, I put that I should only be walking for 4 minutes, but that doesn't add up for the pace or the speed that I walk at. So I had to stop my watch or adjust. Oh, I had to run through part of my cool down, I think, now that I'm remembering that. So, whatever, make it work. Nothing is set in stone. Make it work. The rest of the week, I didn't do another single workout until the following Sunday because life got lifey. We were in and out of the hospital going to visit my father in law. And then many of you know this, that Las Vegas healthcare is not great. So for my husband, we actually travel out of state and he had doctor's appointments last week. So Wednesday we traveled. We were gone for doctor's appointments on Thursday and Friday. Saturday we traveled again. And it just, workouts didn't get done. And I don't care. That it is what it is. Did I move around a lot the rest of the week? Nope. Sure as hell did not. I was sitting on my butt most of the week, making some Instagram reels or not. There were some days I wasn't on my phone at all. I just couldn't be. There was just too much going on. And I will be honest, I fell behind in the 30 Day to Faster Kickstart. People are doing awesome with the workouts. So if you're doing those workouts and you're listening, congratulations, you're doing awesome. I am completely honest, I fell behind and I did not announce the winners for week 2 or week 3 for doing the challenge. I have spoken with it was actually the person who won. They won both weeks and I've already talked to them and sent them their gifts. But life happened. And sometimes that's it. That's what happens. Life gets lifey. That's what I say. And nothing's perfect. I am not upset with myself that I didn't get the workouts in last week except for the long run because sometimes that's what happens. And that's okay. Especially the shorter workouts. Now, the ideal situation is that I don't miss those every single week. But if he stays in the hospital, I might. It's not going to be the end of the world. I'm just not going to be as fast as I could have been, but will I still finish the race? Absolutely. And I will do my hardest to make it so that I do my long run every week. But maybe one week that doesn't happen. It's not the end of the world. I know there's going to be another deload week coming up. I just had one that I replaced because I started late because of the last time my father-in-law was in the hospital. That's okay. There's another deload week coming up and I will get right back on track. And for a half marathon, if I don't have a 3-week taper, that's okay. 2 weeks is perfectly fine. I add in that extra buffer. It's going to be a-okay. So this is your reminder that if stuff happens, life gets lifey, the plan is there written so that it accommodates you. And if you're in Stronger, Faster, Finisher and the same thing happens, you just send me a DM and we work it out. When I say, okay, this is how you can rearrange, this is what you should do, this is what I would do. And if I'm doing it, or I wouldn't recommend something unless I would do it myself. Now, of course, you take it or leave it. I will give my recommendation from my professional point of view so that you don't get hurt. So I think that's a good recap on where I'm at for running. Oh, actually, I did my long run again yesterday. It was a 5 mile run, 4.99 to be exact. Did that on the treadmill. And honestly, I didn't want to do it. I was like, this sucks. I don't want to do it. I'm not in a good mood. I'm not in a good headspace. Uh, a lot happened. But you know what? I got on the treadmill. I ran for 12 minutes, which equals 1 mile because I run a 12-minute per mile pace for my long run. And then I walked 10 minutes. So I walked, I think it came out to be 0.58 miles. Ran a mile, walked a little bit more than half mile. Ran a mile, walked a little bit more than a half mile. And it was great. I wouldn't say I was energized afterward because just stress, but I didn't feel more run down. I certainly didn't feel bad about myself not running the whole thing. Nobody cares. Nobody cares if you run the whole thing. I don't care if I don't run the whole thing. I don't care if you don't run the whole thing. I even, I told Royal, I said, I don't really want to do this. He goes, well, what can you do instead? I said, well, I could walk the miles. He said, great, then walk the miles. And I'm hooked on a new TV show called Manifest on Netflix. So I have a TV set up right in front of my treadmill, and I got to watch 2 or 3 episodes of Manifest between my warm up, my cool down, my run, and all of my stretching. And I was like, okay, this is great. I get to get sucked into Manifest. And it was wonderful. Okay, so that is my update on my Chills and Thrills training. So let's get into this groin pain from a 10K. So to recap, I saw a Facebook post in one of the running Facebook groups, and it said, I just ran my first 10K and now my groin hurts. Any advice? Honestly, that is not enough information. Nobody can give adequate and accurate advice with that information. And that's what the post said. That's it. And that's exactly the problem with most running advice that you see online. I'm going to walk you through what I actually need to know before giving advice so you can start thinking like a coach when it comes to your own training and pain. So, why this question is not complete. When someone tells me they have growing pain after running a 10K or 6.2 miles for the first time, my first thought is not, what should they do? It's, what did they do? Because a single run doesn't cause pain in isolation. With the exception, of course, if there was an accident or trauma of some kind. But for 80% of running injuries, they happen over time. The body adapts to stress over time. So the real question is, what did the month leading up to this run look like? Did you go from running 2 miles to 6.2 overnight? Was this your first run in new shoes? Or did you wear new shoes outside of running in the past few days? What did you do earlier in the day? What did you do the day before? Did you do a new warm-up routine? Did you try another new workout unrelated to running? Was this your longest run ever or just your longest recent one? And then what did the first 4 weeks of training look like? Not just the past 4 weeks, but the first 4 weeks. Pain doesn't show up out of nowhere. It's a response to load, stress, or a mismatch between effort and recovery. When one of my clients tells me something hurts, I don't give them a stretch or a foam rolling video. I ask questions. If you are in Stronger, Faster, Finisher or you have worked with me one-on-one, you know I am the queen of asking questions because it gives me information. I need to know more information. What did the training look like in the past 4 weeks? What did the first 4 weeks of training look like? How consistent have you been? What changed recently? New pace, new gear, more strength. What else is going on in your life right now? Stress, sleep, travel, nutrition. What are you doing besides running? If it's during a specific workout, what part of the workout are you getting hurt? Are you feeling pain in? If it's during a specific strength exercise, what part of the strength exercise is it? Is it with a certain amount of weight? Is it at the beginning of a motion, the end of a motion? Is it after so many reps? Is it when you do the exercise at the end of the workout versus the beginning of the workout? And so many more questions. Those are just the ones that I can think of right now. Because pain isn't just about muscles and joints, it's about load. And load includes your workouts, your cross training, your schedule, your recovery, even your emotions. Royal and I talk about this a lot with stress, where he thinks of stress as only physical stress, like how much walking did he do? How many times did he go up and down the stairs? How much weight is he lifting? But it's also the mental load, mental stress that can affect pain and how your body feels as a whole. So if I don't know the full picture of what's going on, I'm just guessing. And one of the biggest problems with getting advice from a Facebook post and even from some coaches who don't have their thinking caps on is they're looking at everything as a moment in time. But that's one piece of the puzzle because the majority of running pains and injuries happen from overuse. One moment in time is almost useless to me. I need to know more information over longer periods of time, not just I went for a 10K run yesterday and now my groin hurts. Well, were you doing the splits the day before because you saw a new free training program to get your splits in the next 7 days? So you sat in a split for 6 hours, but you haven't done one since you were 10? I would love to say that this is hyperbole, but some people do similar things and don't recognize the connection. And honestly, now that I've said that out loud, I don't even blame them because there are so many people on the internet doing wild and crazy things and tell you they got this overnight. When in fact, they're a hypermobile person with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and have never had to practice doing the splits. They just try it and they can do it. The shift I want you to take away from this episode is you don't need a quicker fix, you need a smarter lens. If your response to pain is to crowdsource advice from a thread with 52 conflicting answers, that tells me you don't have a system. And without a system, you're relying on luck and trial and error. That's why so many runners stay stuck. They're trying to solve a long-term load problem with a short-term solution. And they end up doing hip flexor stretches for a groin problem. But if the groin problem is because you already overstretched the hip flexor from doing the splits for 6 hours a day, stretching is going to feel good in the moment and worse later or tomorrow. And you'll keep repeating the same thing over and over without the result you want. So next time you feel pain, don't just ask, what should I do for the groin pain? Ask, what changed in my training, my life, or my recovery that made this show up? This is the exact kind of thought process I walk through inside Stronger, Faster, Finisher. Because real coaching isn't a one-size-fits-all advice. It's about asking the right questions so we can make smart adjustments and keep you moving. If you've ever felt like you're doing everything right, but your body keeps rebelling, maybe it's not about working harder. Maybe it's time to train smarter. Registration for Stronger, Faster, Finisher opens June 26th. If you want to have a proven system to follow to get it right this time around, I invite you to join. If you're feeling nervous about whether you can actually cross the finish line at Dopey, if you've been training hard but still wondering, will I really make it? I want you to know there's a better way. Stronger, Faster, Finisher is built for runners just like you. The slow, injury-prone, not really a runner, runners who aren't chasing a podium. You're chasing a personal record in fun. You want those castle photos, those character stops, that pineapple cider at the finish line without feeling broken, defeated, or like you barely survived. Inside Stronger, Faster, Finisher, you'll build your training smarter with the right mileage, the right pacing, and the right recovery. So you don't just survive Dopey. You'll finish it strong, proud, and smiling, exactly the way you imagined. As always, thanks so much for listening. That's all for now. Talk to you soon.